Many of us don't think of ourselves as carers. However, a carer is anyone who provides unpaid care and support to a friend or a relative who's unable to manage without it. Caring for someone can take many forms. Even if you're not the primary carer, you may still help in some way. So some of the challenges that carers face include neglecting their own needs. So the fact is that carers often prioritise the needs and well-being of their loved ones over their own. But we know that it's important for carers to look after themselves as well as their loved ones so that they can look after their loved ones as best as they can. There's also some practical challenges that come along with being a carer, such as financial worries, understanding what your employment situation is, your employment rights, as well as understanding the impact that myeloma can have on daily living. So this includes the worry of things like infection. The carer often wants to protect their loved one from the risk of infection. And lastly, advocating for their loved one. So, for example, at medical appointments and communicating with the patient's medical team as a third party. Some of the challenges that they face. Becoming a carer can be emotionally overwhelming. With a myeloma diagnosis, treatment can start very quickly, which can lead to carers feeling quite isolated or left behind. In addition, often the health and well-being of the patient is prioritised over a carer's own needs, which can exacerbate that feeling of isolation. So having access to mechanisms of support throughout the myeloma journey is key to mitigate the psychological effects that I previously mentioned. So, for example, having access to support from someone who knows what they're going through, that can make all the difference. So an initiative like Myeloma UK's peer service is so vital for carers. Recent evidence has also shown that the relationship between carers and their partner or spouse has a direct impact on quality of life. So where the relationship is good, the carer has a better quality of life. Where it's not, the carer can have a poorer quality of life, which in turn leads to challenges in providing care and support to the partner with myeloma. Becoming a carer can also change the dynamic of a relationship. We know that myeloma and its treatment can have a multitude of physical effects on the patient, which can in turn have an impact on the relationship between the patient and the partner or carer. Carers also sometimes report feeling as though that they've lost their previous life, and as such, their expectations about the future have to be altered as a consequence. So although you aren't legally obliged to, it can be helpful to be open and honest with your employer and tell them that you're looking after someone with myeloma. You may have to take time off work to care for the person that you care for, or change the number of hours you work. You're also protected as a carer from direct discrimination and harassment in the workplace. So in the UK, you have the right to take up to 5 days unpaid leave per year to look after the person you care for in an emergency. In England, Scotland and Wales, a law has been passed that gives you the right to ask your employer for flexible working from day one of your employment. And that's useful if you're considering reducing your hours or condensing your hours. In Northern Ireland, you can make a flexible working request after 6 months of continuous employment. There are also a number of welfare benefits that you're entitled to in the UK as a carer, so definitely recommend looking into it a bit more. So the first important thing is understanding that carers have a very different and distinct set of needs. And to meet these needs, it's important for patient advocacy groups to create opportunities for carers so they have a safe space to speak about those specific challenges. For example, having a support group or a peer buddy service where they can speak freely about those challenges. Providing specific resources for carers is, in our experience, has been invaluable because the information is tailored to carers and it provides practical guidance on navigating myeloma. Thirdly, involving carers in advocacy work is very important, and ensuring that their voices are heard in decision making. Carers often have a unique perspective, which means they usually have insightful and helpful contributions that are relevant to advocacy work. However, there's still some way to go with regards to patient advocacy groups better supporting the needs of carers, particularly in helping carers with the transition between what they once had and what their life is now, and with the loss they feel in having to let go of what their previous life was. So looking to the future, more tailored psychological support is needed, such as counselling or other talking therapies. Some of the support that Myeloma UK offer for carers include our peer support service, and this is a programme that provides one-to-one support for patients and carers. The programme offers up to 6 sessions with someone who has been through a similar journey. People are matched up based on certain characteristics, so patients are matched up with patients and carers are matched up with carers. And this one-to-one support can be vital for a carer that might be feeling isolated or overwhelmed, and it can help them to navigate the challenges that a myeloma diagnosis brings. We also have a friends and family support group, so this is specifically for people that are caring for patients with myeloma, and it's a safe and confidential space dedicated to carers where they can talk about the challenges they face without the worry that they're burdening the patient. We also provide patient information days, so at these events we typically schedule a breakout session specifically for carers, as well as the aforementioned support services. We also have a helpline and an Ask the Nurse email service, so as patients and carers there's a lot of information to take in. And we also have an information pack specifically for carers, and all of the information can be found on our website and can be downloaded for carers to read at their own leisure.